Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Thursday, April 24th, and we are answering your financial questions. And I know it's been a crazy beginning of this year, lots of news, a lot of things that might unnerve you. If you need some help, we are here for you. Mark and I are both certified financial planners. We love hearing from you. We love answering your questions. So if you've got something going on, go to jillonmoney.com. Click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and if you'd like to join us on the air, just check the box. Mark does everything else. He's so good. While you're on the website, don't forget all of our content lives there. There's stuff you can pay for, but there's a lot of free stuff. Our free weekly newsletter, the blog. We've got other audio shows, another podcast, another radio show. We've got videos. We've got resources, so much there. It is all on the website, jillonmoney.com. We're going to do some emails because every so often we get the email box bulging, and this is one of those days. So this is from Tina, who writes, my company has offered a new benefit that has a guaranteed acceptance through the end of this month. I am single with no kids, but I'm worried about burdening my siblings with long-term care when I get older. Okay, so we've got this possible purchase of a long-term care policy through work, which, by the way, gang, can often be a really good benefit. In Tina's case, the policy costs $93 a month, and you get a $50,000 benefit. If I need care, the benefit would pay 6% per month, $3,000, with a maximum payoff of 2 times the benefit amount, or $100,000. I'm not sure if this makes sense for me or not. Please help. Okay, Tina, here's the thing. I mean, if you're single, it's not the worst thing in the world to plow through all of your money. On the other hand, this is a very affordable benefit, and I think it is worth considering a purchase of this policy because, again, when you have this through work, it's usually a lower amount. And just find out one thing. Is this policy portable? Can you take it with you if you leave your employment? That's one question to ask. But as long as you can afford it, I think this is a very, very good benefit. And anyone else who's listening, if you have a long-term care benefit through work, this might be a really good way to get at least some partial coverage. Okay, next question from Gary, who writes, hi, Jill and Mark. I'm not sure what to do with my employer-sponsored 401k. I have about $300,000 in it. I'm 62 years old, and I hope to retire in a year or two. I also have a state pension with $340,000 in a target date fund, 2025. Being so close to retirement, I'm concerned about losing some of the money in that employer-sponsored 401k. It's a municipal 401k, gang. Okay, so just so you know that. I've consulted with a CFP, a certified financial planner, who has advised on using some of the funds inside of the retirement account and opening a variable annuity, which I did not feel comfortable doing. My question is, what should I do with this account? The fund has one option, a transfer to a PIMCO short asset fund they call an enhanced cash fund. It has lower risk. What about opening an IRA through one of the brokerage houses? My wife is 57. She's got a Fidelity account through her employer. It's got $50,000. This is all of our funds for retirement, no other accounts. Please advise. Okay, Gary, I want to know so much more about you. But the most important thing is, will your future pension cover a lot of your needs? If the answer is yes, then we don't have to go to cash inside of this 401k. But if you're really freaking out, we may want to look at the retirement, the 401k, and I'd want to know what some of the other options are inside of it. I agree with you. I don't feel comfortable with an annuity. Please don't do an annuity, but do get back in touch with us, because before you roll this over, before you do anything with this 401k, I really think we need to hear more about what else is going on in your life, how much money you need. Will your pension and Social Security cover what's going on? These are the real critical questions to answer before you make any move, okay? Okay, Jennifer writes, I'm 53 years old, and I'll be retiring in 3 years, and I'll have a pension of $100,000 a year. I currently have a total of $1.34 million with $80,000 in a Roth. I'm concerned with an impending recession. what I should do with my allocation. I have almost everything in stocks, 8% international and just 6% in bonds. I don't intend on touching my investments for a number of years, but I am still concerned that the U.S. economy could implode. Okay. Another question. Should I max out the 24% bracket this year with a Roth conversion or wait until after I retire? Well, you're going to still have a pension of $100,000 a year, which means that you'll be in the 22% bracket no matter what, regardless of anything. I mean, I probably would wait to do a conversion, but even I don't know. Actually, no, I wouldn't wait, because once you convert, whatever you convert will be in the 24% bracket. So I wouldn't worry about that. I'd stay in the 24% bracket with a Roth conversion as long as you have the money to pay for the tax bill. That said, look, you're 53, and if the $100,000 pension covers most of your needs, you don't have to go crazy with a reallocation. If you really feel like you've messed this up and you feel like, oh my gosh, I have really put too much risk out there, and you want to change your risk tolerance and you really want to shift your allocation, just make sure you're not going to switch it back. So many people, you're getting a great lesson in what's my risk tolerance. Now you know. But I would be very worried if all of a sudden we hear from Jennifer in a few years and the market has turned around and she wants to undo the lesson that is learned. So just be careful. There's no urgency. If you want to get back in touch with us, of course, you can let us know. Okay. So this is from Habib, who has a dilemma. He says, I discovered you on YouTube recently, and I've enjoyed the info that you've been sharing. I'm at an interesting crossroads. I'm 49 years old. I worked in the private sector, married. We both have 401ks, about $500,000 total. No kids or dependents. Our only debt is our mortgage. House is worth $850,000. The mortgage balance is $420,000. I was offered a state job that pays $95,000 a year with a pension vesting after 10 years. My current contract employer will probably offer me a permanent position at around $125,000 a year. Question: what's the smart move if I'm trying to retire at age 64 in the year 2040? I'm also trying to accelerate the payoff of my mortgage, an extra $1,000 a month to pay it off by 2040. Is that a smart move as well, given it's just me and my wife? We do value peace of mind over risk of gain. Let's do the first thing first. Stop paying down the mortgage. That's ridiculous. You do not want to do that. I guarantee that I bet that mortgage is a much lower interest rate. Don't do that. Free up your cash. Mark, what do you think about the idea of a state job at $95,000 with a pension that gives you 10 years, right? So he'll be 49 to 59. He'll have 15 years in, versus private sector. What do you think?
What's the deal with his current job? Does he like it? Does he hate it? That's a big factor in this. I don't know.
And I don't know either, because I want to know, there is certainly a risk that, when you work for a state system, that you really are taking a risk there. So I think it has to do with the job you have, the job that you could have. Obviously, a pension is amazing, but we wouldn't just push you into a job for the pension. I don't know. I just think that might be a little bit extreme. I'd love to hear more about what's going on, but I'll tell you what I do know. Do not pay off that mortgage. That $1,000 a month is absolutely more valuable to you, especially if that's a mortgage that is, under 4.5%. Right, Mark?
It's all about the year 2040. They're retiring and they do not want a mortgage.
You betcha. I know. Okay. Janine says, hi, Jill and Mark. You talk quite a bit about moving to a less expensive state in retirement, but I don't remember hearing you talk about moving to a more expensive state. Well, listen, Mark and I live in one of the most expensive states in the country, New York, so we're happy to have you come join us. Okay. Janine says, my husband and I live in Michigan, and we would potentially like to move to be near our son and his family in Minnesota. Everything seems so much more expensive there, from taxes on Social Security, pension, state tax to housing. How do we handle much more expensive cost of living in retirement? We've considered just renting an apartment near them and keeping our home in Michigan because all of our friends are here. Any advice is appreciated. Okay, Janine, if you can rent and not just, upend your entire life, I love that idea. But you've just got to build it in. So when you're looking at your retirement scenario, can you afford to have some extra amount that you spend every single month in rent. So let me give you an example. Let's say that rent is $2,000 a month, and that means that your current income needs during retirement go from $5,000 a month to $7,000 a month. You tell me, can you actually afford it? We'd need a lot more information, but I think there are a lot of folks who find themselves making decisions about retirement, and it's just for, I'm going to move to this low-cost state. I'm going to move to Florida. I'm going to move to Texas. All well and good, but you better test it out first. So maybe what you do is you rent for a little while, and if you really like it, then you sell your house in Michigan, and you can just like stay with friends when you come back to Michigan to visit. I don't know. Check it out. Here we go. This is from Nancy. I retired and moved my 401k money to an IRA right before the Fed started raising interest rates. My total bond and total international bond index are down 20%. Any rebalancing has been into shorter-term bonds where I could get a good yield without the duration risk. I'm tempted to take the loss on my intermediate bond indexes, stay short on bonds, and take my risk in equities from here on out. I'd love to get your counsel. My loss would be $15,000 on an $800,000 portfolio. I don't like this idea at all. Do you, Mark?
Sure. If I knew exactly what was going to happen, sure.
Exactly right. I don't like this idea, Nancy. First of all, I would just rebalance. And also, you're in an IRA, so you're not even going to get a tax loss. I would stay where you are. I would rebalance, and hold firm. You're going to be investing in this account for a long time. I bet you're not just 2 minutes into retirement. So I'd like to know more about you, but I am not this kind of person who thinks that I don't think that any of us can anticipate where the market is going next. Okay. All right. Now, here we go. This is, okay, I'm going to end this question because this is dedicated to you, Mark. It's from Spencer. Hi, guys. I just subscribed to Jill on Money Live and listened to the webinar with Ed Slott, which prompted me to ask the question, should I go all Roth? Okay, Spencer's 51. My wife is 52. We earn $320,000 annually. So $320,000, that puts them at the top bracket of 24% right now. We have $600,000 in a 401k. That's it for retirement accounts. We have no brokerage accounts yet. My Social Security at full retirement will be $3,900. My wife, let's call it $3,800. Spencer has a pension. It will pay at least $7,500 monthly. My company contributes 10% of my salary annually to my 401k. Oh my God, that was $16,500 this year. My wife is just starting back up with her 401k, contributing up to the match of 6%. We used her previous 401k to start a business. My question is, should we go full Roth? My company has both a Roth and a traditional, and I think there is a way to roll over to a Roth with better investment options. We're looking to retire in about 10 years. Okay, Mark, how do you want to handle this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a slam dunk for me. I would start using the Roth. I don't know if you necessarily got to start, converting everything that you've saved so far. But from here on out, I would make everything Roth. Yes.
I think that I would go again. I think it's a way to diversify your investments. So you don't have to convert right now. We can think about converting when you on the other side, like in 10 years, we can start that. But yes, we would really appreciate and think that a 401k in a Roth version would be a better option for you guys going forward. I'm dying to know what business they started with their 401k. So that's another question altogether. Follow up with us if you've got some add-ons. And for those of you who want to watch that Ed Slott webinar, you've got to be a member of Jill on Money Live. And remember, that is a way you can access that Ed Slott webinar, which was so popular, it almost blew up our subscriptions, right, Mark? You get the Ed Slott webinar, audio and video content that are bonus episodes and great stuff. The back catalog, all for $45 for the next 12 months. That's Jill on Money Live. You can find that on our website at jillonmoney.com. You can subscribe to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcast. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. And of course, do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.